And welcome into We Talk Sports Good. Can't even talk. Two-man crew today as Thomas is out in the wilderness. He doesn't even know what state he's in right now.
Probably doesn't.
He really doesn't. When we asked him, he was up in Oregon, and he's like, wait, I might be in Idaho. So he doesn't even know. And with his service, he probably can't even look up Google Maps. How sad. Living like the good old days. Back in the good old days when you used the maps that you had to fold out or you printed out MapQuest directions.
Oh, MapQuest. I literally said MapQuest like today when I was talking about trying to find somewhere. I was like, we haven't used MapQuest since like 06?
Is it even a running website still? I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like Friendster is still a website. So if Friendster is,
MapQuest is still a website.
MapQuest. You know what they ended? Ask Jeeves.
Oh man,
R.I.P. to Ask Jeeves, man. R.I.P.
Yep, MapQuest is still a working site.
Huh.
Ask Jeeves and MapQuest. Wow. Some throwbacks.
Good old Ask Jeeves. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Well, with that, two-man crew, as we're going to recap Week 15 and do a little Week 16 preview. We're already right there at the end. And,
golly,
there's also another time of year, Week 16. Granted, it is the NFL season, end of season, playoff push for NFL teams, but most likely it's your championship game in fantasy football.
And not mine.
I actually made my championship in one of my leagues.
Did you really?
I did.
Good boy.
I had been carried on the back of Todd Gurley.
I feel like a lot of people probably have this year.
Yeah. But, I mean,
and I asked specifically
about him. Okay, well, this one was an auction draft. My first auction draft ever.
Okay.
I'm still not the biggest fan of it, even though I'm in the championship. But I spent my money going big on running backs.
Yeah.
I had LaShawn McCoy was my big spend, $62. It was a $200. I got Todd Gurley for $36, which has been a great deal.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Especially being the number one running back, and $60 we're going for like Le'Veon and poor guy that got David Johnson for $60-something. I am actually playing the guy with Le'Veon, and he was carried on the back. He got Le'Veon for $65, and then he spent. I can see. Wrong person. He also has Antonio Brown, which now helps me out since he does 66 on Antonio Brown. So he spent $131 out of 200 on two players, but he's in the championship game.
He's in the championship.
But now I don't have to play him with both, just one.
There you go. I haven't done it yet, and I think I might join Thomas's, but the Dynasty Leagues. I have not done a Dynasty League yet. That's the only one I haven't tried out, and I'm excited to do that one. That's an interesting little twist.
Yeah, I haven't either because I've never been comfortable enough with the group of people to know that they'll actually stick through it. Because if you don't have a group that will stick, or at least, maybe every once in a while you drop someone to add someone will stay in.
Right.
I don't know. I don't this is a second year with this group I'm doing it with. We still had some turnover. So a good turnover.
Gotcha.
I think like 4 or 5 guys switched out. So that's why I was kind of nervous on a Dynasty League. But for those of you in fantasy football playoffs, send in questions. It's obviously championship week. Randall has past experience in winning.
I do. Yeah. Not this year. Not a good year for me this year. But I won last year.
So we have advice for you in the championship game. And just because I'm in the championship game doesn't mean they'll listen to me. I have not. I honestly, with some of the decisions I made, which more with my other team, have really bit me. But even on this one, I've gotten bailed out by decisions, and like Todd Gurley putting up 40-some points last week. But that one was just because it was a close game. We were both scoring high. But I've barely gave. I should have had a bye week, and I blew it because of me not making the right picks. And then so I've had to start from the first round and just get my way to the championship. So I can missed get just enough.
I was one spot away from the playoffs, so I missed the playoffs. But the person that was right ahead of me, calling you out, B-Ham, scored significantly more points than more. Like I think the end was like I probably scored like close to 100 points more than him overall, and he still got to the playoffs over me. But it's whatever, man.
No big
It's
deal.
whatever.
Yeah, I understand that pain. In the league I didn't make playoffs, I was the fourth highest scoring team. And this in the other league I didn't make it. It was a 10-team four make,
Yep.
and I was fifth.
Yep.
I was fifth to a guy that I'm pretty sure was like 6 in the league in points. Yeah, he got destroyed in the first round. So
yeah,
I might have been in the championship in that one if I would have made it. And literally, I didn't make it because I tied in the last week.
I
tied.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'll never live down the Thomas .1 loss.
.1 loss.
Never live it down.
I was a yard away from winning. If literally his guy had one less yard or I had one guy with one more yard, I mean
one QB kneel away.
That's true.
One QB kneel. Ugh, that's the worst.
Yeah, with that, send in fantasy questions. So we'll get rolling then. And with that, the last Thursday night football game of the year. It's a big one. I'm sure everyone was watching Broncos and Colts. I can't particularly say I was. I was actually watching Thor: Dark World on FX. And
that's a really bad movie. I hate that movie. Just
it was on, and I was flipping back and forth between that and the Thursday night football game. So that speaks to the Thursday night football game.
Last Thursday, I was asleep. Probably by the time the game started. I'm thinking, or at least I was asleep definitely by halftime.
By halftime, I was gonna say it was a 7:30 start still.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, I anytime I miss a game, I always go back and check the stuff on it though. But no, yeah, CJ Anderson, workhorse dude, 30 carries, 158 yards, workhorse.
Yeah. The Brocket ship came in relief.
Yeah.
He made some good, some of the when I flipped over, he made some very tight, accurate passes, which was, and they're all like, well, it is the Colts, so let's not go overreact on it. But I remember one touchdown he threw to it's the rookie tight end from Ohio State. Going blank on his name.
Is it Heerman?
Yeah. And he threw it through the window where the Colts guy was like reaching out and he just got it past his fingertips. Safety coming up on the other side, squeezed it, caught it right up the seam, touchdown. I was like, wow. Did not expect that pass out of Brock. So positives out of the game for the Broncos. They won. They really need some wins here. Colts, they had a halftime lead, and I thought they said something about the Colts have had like 9 or so halftime leads this year. Somewhere in his 8 to 9, I was like, that's rough. Jacoby Brissett, though, you got to give him credit for that terrible of a team around him.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, if you think of the if you think the Colts roster as a whole, and then you take Andrew Luck away, to me, that's a team that like could go over.
Oh yeah, if they did not trade for him, they were done.
Yeah, what a trade too! Like, you didn't really see that coming.
No.
Good trade, though. Brissett's good, man. I like him.
And they have him and Luck locked up, I think, for about the same time. So with Luck's unforeseeable future, they have a good backup plan.
Luck could be so good.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So good. But,
could be one of our biggest what-ifs. But interesting news, if anyone of you were watching the Idaho Potato Bowl today.
I caught some, yeah.
Yeah, John Elliott was at the game by someone named Cody Allen as a quarterback for Wyoming as the only big prospect in that game. And the Broncos are lining themselves up for him if they want him. So interesting to see. We'll see where that takes it. I'm sure we're going to have an interesting debate once we get close to the draft.
Draft time is going to be a fun time for us.
Yeah,
we have a draft expert that we're gonna bring in too. So just get ready for that.
I'll just do mock McShay noise or Kuiper noises, not McShay noises. McShay doesn't.
We could do You know, what would be fun is if we did kind of like a round robin. We draft for teams. That could be kind of fun.
Ooh, I
Do a
like that.
first round.
We'll get. I'll get like a board here, and I'll like.
Yeah, we'll set it up
We'll
where
keep
like
track.
yeah, we'll set it up where like if we have a team like the Texans won't draft. They won't have a first round
Yeah.
pick. But
Nope.
like Saints, we'll set it up where like I'd have the Saints pick, you'd have the Lions
Yep.
pick, type thing. Oh, that'd be good.
All
That'd
right.
be fun.
Then obviously we'll give you a draft expert on just slots and Thomas slots, and we'll
Yep.
see from there. Yeah.
Ooh, my draft expert is also a Saints fan, so we might have to argue over that one. But
Flip a
we'll
coin on that one.
yeah, we'll flip a coin. But yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be good stuff.
So yeah, that game was all about more about drafting.
Yeah.
What's for the future. So next up we had Saturday action, two games, and we're gonna have two more Saturday action this week. With that, the Lions had a very important game. I know it was the Bears, but they have to win out.
Yep.
And there's a very good chance of that now because they beat the Bears. 3 interceptions off of Mitch Trubisky, 2 by Big Play Slay, who is a Pro Bowler.
He's so
He
good,
is
man.
so good, and I'm glad he made the Pro Bowl. He well deserved that. But now the Lions are in very good position.
Yep.
Because the Bengals, as we'll get to, had an interesting week. And Rodgers is back on the IR because the Packers are done.
Rodgers.
So that game's back in Detroit when the Packers come to Detroit, and it's not worrying about a man named Aaron Rodgers who destroys the Lions. So the Lions are in their position, but that run game is still horrendous.
Yeah. Let's see. If they win this week, they break the tie over Dallas and Seattle, correct?
They are already above Dallas. They're a game on Dallas because Dallas has to have Detroit lose a game.
No. I mean, like if they won and then at the end of the season there was a tie, I think that a win this week would like be a tiebreaker type thing.
Oh, okay.
Like for some reason, it has something to do with conference win percentage, I believe.
Okay.
Would like break the tie between Seattle and Dallas if it ended up that they all had a tie for a wild card spot.
Okay.
But Falcons are playing good, Panthers are playing good, Saints are playing good. It's gonna be tough to get a wild card spot away from one of those NFC South teams. But you know, well, we'll talk later about the NFC South.
So big win. Running game needs to appear at some point though. So next up,
real quick, do you think y'all are gonna try to target one of the like a primetime back in the draft this year?
I hope, but I honestly hope it comes more in the second, third round. Try to grab a steal like
a Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, yeah, that'd be a great option. I mean, but if you look at the running backs in the draft, there's some interesting options. Not just obviously at the top, with Barkley, which that's not happening. They're not getting him.
No, he's going to go in the top 5, top 3.
But I mean, if you look at the rest of the running backs, who could, I know there's a lot of who declares and technicalities. I haven't, and who's a senior, who's not. But I mean, you have the guys like a Bryce Love, a Geis,
Chubb, Kerryon
Johnson. Carry on, yeah. I mean, shoot, even Sony Michel of Georgia as well.
Yeah,
he plays well. I mean, even with I know Alabama hasn't had the big names, but I'm seeing the Damian Harris still up there on some people's boards.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I like.
Ronald Jones. Jones.
That's exactly who I was going to say. Who I think you could realistically get in the third round if he. Wait, is he a senior?
Let's see. He is.
I feel like he's a junior.
I believe he's a junior, but I think a lot of people have him declaring this year.
Okay, so he would be an interesting prospect.
Junior, but
he's got some serious big playability, which is I think that's something I feel like y'all are lacking. Y'all don't have a big play dude at the back position. I mean, I like. Blanking on his name, Amir Abdullah. I like Abdullah, but he doesn't bring that. He's not a home run threat.
No, I like the draft pick at the time, but it has not worked out, and he's not. Ronald Jones also, I feel like, just has more of that power that if you have to run him inside, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Abdullah's whole thing is you have to get him outside,
What
and
about
everyone will literally crash outside, and he goes inside. He's done.
what's the is Penny?
Penny is a senior. Yes, from San Diego State. He is a big guy.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
would be all right
interesting.
with that. I would be all right with that. I mean,
Interesting.
there's a lot of those type of running backs that they should target, and that leaves their first rounder, which I'm honestly kind of wanting another edge rusher.
Okay.
Because Biggie
Okay.
hasn't stayed healthy enough.
Yeah.
Zettel had that good little 2-3 weeks, but he's not going to be the sustainable. Even maybe, or maybe another. I mean, the defensive tackles have held their ground pretty well. Linebackers are still young, so I would really like a top-notch rusher to
Okay.
maybe help Ziggy out when he can stay healthy. So
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, if we're gonna be honest, every team could always stand a couple more pass rushers.
oh
You can
yeah,
never have enough.
exactly. So yeah. So with that, we'll talk the other Saturday game. The Chiefs show back up, and an explosion there, a 30-13 win over the Chargers. I believe we all had the Chargers. I know we've all been huge on the
Yeah.
Chargers, but did not see that coming. Maybe I could have saw the Chiefs winning, but not 30-13. I would have saw a close game. It's an AFC West game, close
Yeah.
game, not a blowout.
That's a really big time game too.
Yeah,
That game was huge.
I won't say it clinched, but
No, certainly not. But Philip Rivers just didn't have a good game at all. I think how many picks did he throw? 30?
3. Yeah, because that scared me because in that league I'm in the championship, we can start 2 quarterbacks because we have an
Yeah.
offensive player position. One of
Right.
my quarterbacks is Philip Rivers. And I was scared after Thursday or after Saturday. I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble. But
Yeah.
good old Blake Bortles in my offensive player spot came clutch.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt threw his name back in that offensive rookie thing again because he had a huge game. Let's see, I'm looking up his 24 for 155 and a touchdown and 7 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown. So I mean, obviously, personally, I'm going to say that it should be Kamara, but he definitely threw his name in there. It's a 2-man race for that offensive rookie of the year, no doubt. But let's be honest, if Deshaun Watson would have stayed healthy, it probably would have been his ran away. He probably would have ran away with it. So
for sure. There's no doubt about that. But and what's funny about you said Philip Rivers obviously had a bad game. Before that Saturday game, I think it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was on the ESPN radio. Yeah, I was listening to Ryan Russillo, and I forgot who he had on, but they were talking about throwing Philip Rivers' name in for the MVP race before that game. Before that game, his stretch was he had the slow start, the Chargers, but from that time they were on their hot streak, he was up there with top quarterbacks.
he does. I'm looking at his stats. I mean, he has a good stat line. Other than, I mean, that past game wasn't good, but he almost has 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns. So it's not terrible.
How many picks?
Let's see. For some reason, it's not saying. Let me complete stats this. He has 10.
Okay, so but you take away if you didn't have a bad game, take away.
Yeah, 24 and 7 wouldn't have been bad at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, his yards just aren't really up there with the rest of everyone. I don't think. Yeah, like Brady has. Well, he's 5th. Brady has 4,163 right now, and then Rivers is 5th with 38. So
that's fair enough.
It's crazy to me that I'm looking at offensive leaders and with QBs and yards, and everyone's talking about the Saints and they're running games. Breeze didn't have to throw that much, blah, blah, blah. Still 4th in the league in passing yards, 38-50 in a year that he's not getting to throw that much. Just throwing that out there.
Shows what a balance of offense can do.
Yep.
I mean, he's right there, and Stafford's had to throw the whole time, and he's really not that far off of Stafford.
Right. So, yep.
Interesting. So next one, talking about the opposite of throwing a lot. The Bills win over the Dolphins, 24-16, and fun stat: only 4 receptions were made by wide receivers by the Bills. 3 different guys, one with 2. Kelvin Benjamin had 2.
This is just one of those games that I didn't particularly care about. I mean, Tyrod played decent. 17 for 29, 224, 1 touchdown. Shady broke, what was it, 10,000
Yes, for his
rush
career.
yards in this game. So that's always good to see. Jarvis Landry had a pretty good game, almost had 100 yards, but
Jay Cutler
yeah.
3 picks.
Well, that's not even. I wasn't even gonna mention it because, like, yeah,
it's not a surprise.
Yeah, no. It's just one of those games that does anyone really care about it that much?
The Bills are still.
I mean, I guess
though.
the Bills are still technically in it,
and to not only go with that though, the Bills are still in it, and yes, they have to play the Patriots, but the Titans are now 8-6, as we'll get to that game later. But they have to play a tough Rams team. Even if the Bills lose this week, granted, I believe they're still in the wild card position too, so they could have
the Titans or the Bills are still in a wild card spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if the Titans lose, this helps them even more move maybe up a spot.
Yeah, honestly, actually, I'm looking at it. Let's see, who do the Bills have remaining? Patriots. No, they have.
Yes, Patriots.
Patriots 1, and
I believe the Dolphins again, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm trying to pull up their schedule here. Yeah, at New England, at Miami.
Yep, they play the Dolphins again.
They did that with a few teams this year where they did. I don't like this where it's like
that close.
Like the Saints have it. Falcons game. Let's see, it was like Falcons, Jets, Falcons.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I'm not a fan of that schedule either.
Yeah, Miami, New England, Miami. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But yeah, that'll be tough for them to win. They're not going to win in New England. No way. At Miami, we'll see. But still, like
they could flip with the Titans possibly.
Yeah, and then let's see. I'm looking at the standings.
Ravens are still right there.
Ravens are still there, and then Chargers are 7-7. So,
but the thing is, what's interesting, which not saying they're going to lose both, but a 9-7 Bills team, and if the Chargers win their last 2 9-7, they need the Titans to be 9-7 as well, because if not, the Bills don't have that tiebreaker over the Chargers.
And here's this. Let's see. I'm thinking the Bills have a win over the Ravens with a tie with strength of schedule, I believe. Let's see, the strength of schedule or strength of victory? Strength of victory. So, I mean, if it came down to Bills and Ravens, they have that win over them. So, I guess, yeah, they could. I have a feeling that they'll drop both of these, honestly. I don't see them making it.
It'll be interesting to see, though.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's all about that late race.
Still, to me, I still don't think that I think they messed up and they no longer will have a quarterback next season. Because I think they messed up any chance they had of getting Tyrod to stay.
Yeah. I think he definitely should test for someone that will actually care and try to develop to his game. So, yeah, and with that, I know we mentioned briefly, but the Panthers ended the Rodgers return 31-24. Rodgers now back to the IR.
Rodgers!
To play him. But, yeah, he definitely, you could tell he was still a little – couldn't get that ball all the way downfield still.
Yep.
Many three interceptions, right?
3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Off the top of my head, 2 of them were because he underthrew it. And 1 was a touchdown if he didn't underthrow it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, the Cobb, would have been a great game. So,
yeah, this is just another one of those games where Cam is, even in some of their wins, he still hadn't been that like super Cam. Like they've been kind of nasty wins, but this game was one of those games where it was like, yep, there he is, 20 for 31, 242, 4 touchdowns, and then 58 rushing yards. So he had a big game. McCaffrey had a good game, 63 yards rushing, 73 yards receiving, and a touchdown.
So is McCaffrey
Dude's
basically a receiver now?
pretty much. I mean, well,
And he
he
did rush for
he
a lot.
he beat out Stewart in carries, so
Yeah.
that hadn't happened many times this
Yeah,
season.
I guess that's why I'm thinking it just
But
hasn't happened a lot on that. But
yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, I mean, they have Greg back and he's healthy. He had 9 for 116 and a touchdown. But before that, all they had in that time between Olsen being healthy and when they let Kelvin Benjamin go over to the Bills, Funches.
bunches.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So he kind of had to play that. I mean, I would say a majority of McCaffrey's snaps were like he would either be in the slot or they'd motion him over there. There wasn't many times where he just straight up stayed in the backfield.
Yeah.
So
So also with that, two things. What do you take on the bird butt touchdown that Greg Olson was running to the sideline saying, "Why would you challenge that?" And then was like, "Oh, never mind, I'm wrong." Touchdown by a butt cheek.
by a butt cheek. I actually saw. I'm trying to remember what the headline was. Hold on, let me look it up. It's a really funny headline about it. Okay, here it is. Bird playing big for Panthers despite Little Cheeks nickname. It's
Oh,
great. Little Cheeks. You know, it is what it is.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm mesmerized by this article right now. It's really funny. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, and then okay, so and point two here. Okay, obviously first round pick for the Panthers wide receiver.
I think they have to,
I
right?
have
I
to, yeah.
mean,
And I'm looking at some of the names that this site just kind of
it's
gives
not a
as a
great
ranking.
receiving core
No,
class this
Calvin
year.
Ridley is still one.
Okay.
Interesting because the thing is though, I'm looking and I think a good name I like is Cortland Sutton from SMU, but he's 6'4", 212 or 216. I mean, they say he's a quick guy, but he's a
Mhm.
4.51 40 projected. But they just traded away Benjamin because they didn't want two guys that are both big receivers.
Okay.
So that
How?
means you have to look at speed guys. So you're hoping like a Christian Kirk from A&M, little quick guy.
Yeah. Uh,
Pettis. I don't know. I don't see Pet. Ooh, Anthony Miller
that's
probably the
exactly who I
name.
was about to say.
Is probably I think maybe their best bet then.
Yeah. Which I mean he might rise, but right now they have him projected at what, like 2-3
2-3
area?
is what the site I'm looking at now.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of how they rank the players. I just like it's the Walter football. It's just always the first one that comes up, and they usually update it pretty frequently on names.
Mhm.
I don't particularly like their rankings very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have him two through four. But I think he's a 2-3 guy. He has to be right now, unless he bombs his pro day or not even pro day, combine day.
Combine. Yeah.
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 CBS has him as number 25 player. Anthony Miller.
Okay. That makes more sense because uh I feel like I'm looking at, let's see, where am I at? I'm Walter Football, and they had him at
Yeah.
they had him at like 18 or something
Yeah,
like
see,
that.
that's why I
No,
don't.
let's see, 9 for receivers. But
That's why I don't like their rankings, but they usually are up to date on like where, so
right, 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 right.
or who's a project or who's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think the biggest thing for them is it might be to just see who has the combine with speed.
Yeah, the only other thing I would say is maybe look at corner for them because what is it? Bradbury, is that his name?
I believe so.
He's pretty good, but then the other corner, I'm blanking on the other corners. Oh well, they have Captain Munnerlyn back. I'm not sure if he's starting for them right now. I can't remember who's on the other side of Bradbury, but they could definitely use some more help in that secondary. So
Yeah. I mean, it could be a second round wide receiver. I just think they have to spend early on wide receiver.
right, yeah. No, yeah, I definitely agree with that. They just need more playmakers in general. So
Yeah. Definitely have to help Cam out a little more.
yeah.
So next game up, this is probably a quick one. Ravens beat Browns 27-10. Did we expect anything less? I picked the Browns, but just for pick points attempt.
And it's because we're egging you on.
And that too.
And I will do that again today.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
get
don't
ready for
worry.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, oh, interesting comment here in the comment section. Maybe Carolina goes after Sammy Watkins.
I feel like that would not be a bad fit for them.
Not at all.
And then
That's
they
speed.
could,
That's the
yeah,
speed they need.
yeah, and then they could aim. I would even if they got Sammy, I would still go for another receiver.
Yes.
But then they could aim because that A and
They
M
can aim
kid,
for a true slot guy.
yeah, that A and M kid will probably be a little bit lower, right?
Like
Fours.
fourth, fifth, I would think.
Yeah.
And like you said, then you
So
can use your first on a corner, then whatever, look at
yeah,
how your
maybe some
strategy needs
linemen.
to attack from there. Um, but yeah, that'd be interesting. I would like that combo.
Yeah, that would
Definitely
be
gives
good.
Cam a true big name. Now I know Sammy hasn't maybe lived up to his pick, obviously, but
Right.
to give him that big name, I think. Not saying he's playing well in the Rams. I mean, granted, he doesn't get
He
the
has his
targets.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't get the high targets, but I think coming on board with Cam might really boost him up a little bit.
Right. Right.
So
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So and comment on at least on the Browns here. Maybe not on the Browns. Jimmy Haslam retaining Hugh Jackson. What do you think of there?
Let's see. Hughes in his. This was his second season.
I believe this is still his first, isn't it? Or no, is
Wait,
this the second?
I'm pretty sure it's his second. Right? Isn't it? Hold on. I'll look that up. Keep talking.
Yeah, that's drawing me a blank.
I'm almost positive this is the second season.
It just with the Browns, it just doesn't it doesn't
Doesn't
work.
really matter. Yeah.
It's an eternity with the Browns.
Let's see.
This is his first year because that's what.
No, it's not. He went 1-15 last year with them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is a
So.
second. Yeah. It just feels like it's.
Oh my gosh! If he goes 1-15 and 0-16, yeah, you gotta he's gone. No way. I'm sorry. I'm a fan of giving 3 seasons to let you. But if you go over, or if you go 1 win then over, you gotta go.
I mean,
That's awful.
Straight up, the new GM was like, it's not his fault.
Oh, the one that they just hired, or Sashi?
Yeah. No, the new one.
Okay, I'm blanking on this.
He straight up was like, the old management gave Hugh Jackson zero chance to win with this terrible roster.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
They need to bring what is Sonny Weaver Jr. Need to get Sonny Weaver Jr. in there at GM, and then whatever Dennis Leary's name was in that movie. I can't think of what his name was, but Draft Day, good movie.
Yeah, Dorsey, that's the name. Thank you, Rob, in our comments. He's on your side. Dorsey should be allowed to make his own hire.
Yeah. Just if you go 2 seasons, 1-15, and the next one 0-16, which it looks like they have a very good chance of going. Yeah, you gotta go, dude.
Oh man, that's enough Browns talk. We've hit our max time on talking about the Browns. All right. Well, granted, the next two are going to be pretty quick ones. The Jags rout the Texans 45-7. It
would have been a fun game. Sean was healthy.
Oh yeah, that definitely is true.
About that.
But yeah, Jags win. Jags, man. You think about it, if that, we'll get to the Steelers Patriots game, obviously. But if the Steelers would have won, the Jags would have been in position for a bye week.
Oh my gosh, that would be glorious.
But it didn't happen. So, but the Jags are still, regardless.
They're gonna be a playoff team, man. Love it.
I mean, you look at the AFC.
Let's see.
It's
They clinched.
they
They
clinched. No,
clinched.
yeah, they clinched. But I'm just saying, if you look at the AFC though, the Chiefs aren't. You're going to. I mean, especially with how they've fallen. I mean, you don't have the faith in the Chiefs. The Titans are going to, if they make it, they're going to be just barely jumping in.
Right, right.
The Bills. No one's going to fear the Bills. If the Ravens get in, you have the history of them being in the playoffs, but this team doesn't
No,
scare you. The
no.
Chargers can make a little noise, but you're not. It's the AFC. It's Tom Brady, but
Yeah,
the Steelers and Jags are making the true
yeah.
contention.
Everyone's
After those
saying. I
three,
mean,
it
yeah.
drops.
Everyone's kind of saying, which I mean, I think I've even probably said it a couple of times on the show that it's basically going to boil down to Steelers, Patriots, and that AFC Championship. But you can't count the Jags out. That defense is nasty. That defense is nasty. If Bortles is on, which
And he's been the last 5-6
yeah,
weeks now.
yeah. So, man, just
Without
imagine if they had Allen Robinson this whole
oh
time.
yeah,
Allen Robinson out game one. Oh, God, because that dude's a game changer. He's so good.
yeah.
Man, it's a shame.
And Rob, you would be complete agreement with Thomas here. He said he hopes the Texans don't scapegoat O'Brien. And I know Thomas brought that up on a little mini rant last week about he was 9-7, 9-7, 9-7 all in the playoffs,
Yeah.
and then this year you can't. I mean, there's too many injuries. The players are behind him. If you fire him, just the direction doesn't seem right. You fired a coach because all his players got hurt.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Let him have a full season of Deshaun Watson to really judge what you want.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be a big difference, obviously. So they shouldn't. If they
Yeah.
don't, he'll be snatched up pretty quick by someone.
They better go however many draft picks they have this draft, which it's probably not as many.
Not a lot.
Probably like
Starting in the third round.
4 or 5, yeah. They better go O-line like every pick.
O-line.
Yeah, no lie, like every pick.
Yeah. So, and then the other game, which would be a quick hit, really more of two things, which really weren't, I guess, the game actual. Well, one was actually the game itself. The Vikings rout the Bengals 34-7. The two main takeaways: one, Teddy Bridgewater played.
Teddy B. Teddy Two Gloves.
Unfortunately, he got his one pass tipped and picked off, and his only pass attempt of the game. Yeah. But they gave him a nice standing ovation, which was really nice of them to do. Obviously, everyone was pumping up the crowd. It's a blowout, but everyone's still going crazy. That's nice to see. And the obvious.
Was there a Teddy Two Gloves chant? Yes or no?
I did not hear. I just saw the video.
I missed this game. This one went on for me. So.
I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't have it on. I just saw the video of everyone pumping up Teddy as he came in.
Yes. 0-2 with an interception. Well,
yeah, he did have his second attempt. Yeah, the first pass was literally the interception. though. That was rough because I was on the ESPN fantasy app and I was looking at the game and it's like Teddy Bridgewater throws one pass for interception. I was like, oh, and his 0-for-1 interception. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. But the big news coming right before the game not too long ago, which Thomas was jumping for joy, Marvin Lewis will explore options elsewhere after the year, not come back to the Bengals.
I really hope that it's not like, I hope they don't give him the courtesy of like, oh, he's leaving us. No. Fire him.
Fire him.
Outright
fire
that man.
That'll be interesting because he's exploring other options elsewhere. Who
wants him?
I mean,
wait, I'm not even sure. Like, is he? Because Hugh Jack. So I guess he's kind of a defensive guy. Like, I guess he's going to be D coordinator somewhere, maybe, or maybe college. No one's going to hire him in the NFL as a head coach anytime soon, right? Like, sorry, I'm having camera issues right now.
So,
yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, were the Browns going to hire him? They fired
all. They trade coaches. They should trade coaches.
That would be awful. Oh my gosh, that'd be like
trade coaches.
Scenario.
Hugh Jackson comes back to Cincinnati and becomes the head coach.
Let's see. We've seen it in basketball. Can NFL trade?
Yep.
Yeah, because you know what?
Because
Saints were talking about trading Sean Payton.
Was possibly traded.
Oh man, as soon as Oh man, I hate to say this. As soon as Drew goes, I think Sean should go ahead and go. I
Ooh,
love Sean, but when Drew's gone, I'm ready for a new coach over there.
wow.
I love him. I love him. I love him.
Well,
But
I'd like to explore that topic, but we might have to save that for another time so we can
yeah,
finish out these games and get the
yeah.
picks. So, yeah, with that, we'll actually get to the Saints then. Saints have a close game with the Jets, but then a late
Well,
50-yard touchdown with Mark Ingram make it 31-19. So a win, they need it. You have to have it.
yep. Keep on winning. 10-4. I think if we win this week, we'll definitely be clinched for a playoff spot. I'm pretty sure that would make sense, right? Yeah. Um, but defense still looked decent. Not too huge on 19 points from the Jets on us,
Bryce
but
Petty.
well, wait, had one touchdown pass, I think. It was
Doesn't
like a
matter.
2 yard. It's like a two
Bryce
yard
Petty
touchdown.
started.
Yeah, 19 for 39, 179, a touchdown, and two interceptions. But their running game early was actually pretty well against us. I'm not gonna lie. Below Powell was kicking our butts at the very beginning, and then he kind of leveled off there. But another pick from your NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, Marshawn Lattimore, also made the Pro Bowl. Two rookies in the Pro Bowl: Marshawn Lattimore and Kamara Ingram. Breeze. Let's go. And why am I blanking on Cam Jordan? Cam Jordan also made it. I'm blanking on who said it the other day, but there was one reporter that was like, honestly, Cam Jordan might be the best defensive end in the league because he's the most complete defensive end in the league,
Oh,
which I agree. He is definitely the most complete defensive end in the league. He might not be the best pass rusher, and he might not be the best run stopper, but together he is definitely the most complete. No doubt in my mind. That dude is a freak.
fair enough. All right, well, I'll let you take care of the Saints game because there's not really much more I can add. So, moving
Jets
on.
suck. That's what you can add. Oh, it all comes down. No, it's not this week. It's next week.
Yeah, next week for the bet.
And you know Tom Brady's gonna sit. You know he's gonna sit. Oh,
I mean,
oh.
well,
Who is
yeah,
it? Who's the quarterback? I can't remember. Hoyer. Oh,
Hoyer.
Hoyer. Come on, Hoyer. Win
Well,
me some money, Hoyer.
I mean, yeah, most likely because I'll have number one locked up with a win. Yeah, I mean, knowing the Patriots, he'll probably still play a half. So if he puts up good numbers in the half,
Yeah, maybe he can put a maybe he can
Hoyer can hold on.
And you know if Brady only plays one half and he knows he's only going to play one half,
Oh yeah, he's going to
he'll
try.
go
more.
off. He'll
Yeah.
try to go off.
So that's your hope there. So next up, Napoleon Dynamite gets the win versus the Giants, 34-29. Eagles win. It's true. Nick Foles looks like Napoleon Dynamite.
He does.
He does.
He played very well too.
He did. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yeah, I mean, look, we've talked about it last week. He's never had a bad year. He's had average years, mediocre maybe at worst.
And then one very good one.
And one very good one.
He Pro Bowl quarterback that year, right?
Yes. So, but if you look at the standards of a backup quarterback, he is by far on your upper echelon of backup quarterbacks. So if you're going to, now granted, I know it's not the situation that you would want, like where you're just trusting him to finish off the year and you'll get Wentz back. No, that's not happening. But
yeah,
I think honestly, now it's going to be tough in the NFC. It's going to be tough but they can lock up that number 1 seed. It's going to help out a lot more. The right matchup comes along in the first round. I think they could win one game. But you got to have the right matchup, and they have to clinch home field. Which is very reasonable things that can happen, at least with the home field. Now,
have they already clinched a bye?
They've clinched the bye. That's for sure.
Okay.
I mean, like home field throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's their only hope of making the Super Bowl is being a number 1 seed, which I know is a stretch, but it's not as crazy of a stretch.
I said it. I think I said it last week, but oh man, it would be hilarious to me if the Saints again took him out in the playoffs. He'll have two playoff appearances and both lost to the Saints. That would be great. Oh goodness, that would be great. But yeah, I think they could hold on. Let's see. Who's the remaining schedule for them?
They have the Raiders
Raiders,
and then
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Ooh.
The Cowboys one might be a little rough, but if they win the Raiders, I believe they get it.
So here's my thing: is I actually would have more faith in them beating the Cowboys and the Raiders, just because that Cowboys game, it's kind of like in college playoff or college rivalries, where it's just like you never know what's going to happen. Just like Giants Cowboys. Giants are awful this year, but it's like it's still the Giants Cowboys.
And even the Giants Eagles, that
Yeah,
game was
Giants Eagles. You never know. What was it 29-34?
Yep.
Was the final of that one? Yeah, you just never know. But still, those are two very tough games to have right there at the end in order to try to be holding off the Vikings that are one game back.
Yeah.
So
yes,
I'm wondering
but they
what
do only need to win just one game.
Okay, do they have the tiebreaker over the Vikes?
Yes,
Did they?
that's why
They beat them head to head, right? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at. Yeah, they just need one game, and they have their one seed.
Okay,
That's all they need. I think it's possible. And the
Yeah,
thing is, as a one seed, now, like you said, who are they going to play?
Yeah.
It could be the Saints, or an upset. They play the 6th seed. That's more of their hope.
Yeah.
So.
Or Rams if we jumped them somehow.
Or Rams. But
and think about just the 4 possibilities of teams they're playing: Rams, Saints, Panthers, Falcons, or Lions, Seahawks, Cowboys. All of those teams.
Yeah, I know. It's
NFC is wide open.
Yeah.
Wide open.
Yeah, that's why I still would give them a shot, though.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest. I think a lot of these, some people might, if you just look at it from a perspective of you haven't been watching football and keeping up with it, and I tell you the NFC is wide open, usually people will think, oh, that means the NFC is probably not that good. I like any of these NFC teams competing against these AFC teams.
Oh, yes.
Like, I could very well see, I mean, the Patriots are a different story. They're a different beast. But I like any NFC team over almost all of the other teams in the AFC, other than maybe Jags might be over a couple, maybe depending on what week it is for Bortles. Steelers, as we've seen, play up and down to their competition depending, so that's a throw up. But other than that, after those top 3, I'll take an NFC team over any of those AFCs.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so.
We'll do a couple quick ones here.
Yeah, do some quick hitters.
Yeah. Phil Dawson's 5 for 5 day can't lead the Cards for victory. Washington wins 20-15. Cardinals are basically just throwing random people out there on the field at this point.
Are we sure Phil Dawson isn't like 72 years old?
No confirmation on that one.
Okay, because I know he's only like 42. I'll have to check on that. I think he's like, I know he's not 50, but the dude looks, man.
He's been around the block a couple times.
Yeah, he's like, he looks like a dad for sure. Like, you're like, yep, that dude has. He is 42. And he looks very old. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'll just move on because that game doesn't have much left in it. Yeah. The Rams, time is now. 42-7 victory over.
We were wrong, man.
Yeah.
We were wrong. They proved us wrong. Goff was listening to our show. For anyone who's actually watching us right now, Goff watches our show, so you should tell everyone that you know that this is the show that Jared Goff watches.
And I'd like to once again thank Todd Gurley for his monstrous game and putting my.
He's also listening.
Back. Yeah. Todd Gurley is probably now my favorite non-Lions player. So.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That
For what he
sounds
did to my
bold.
fantasy week, the last I'll just say this whole season. Yeah, he's my favorite non-Lion player for sure now.
Okay. Huh. That's a good question. I've never even thought about who like my favorite
Your favorite
non-Saints player.
non-Saint players?
I
Yeah.
would I would definitely I would put Philip Rivers would be up there for me, man. I
You
love
like the
how
fiery
he
spirit?
I love it out of a quarterback, and that throwing motion is so awful. It's so great to watch. It's so good to watch. So yeah.
Oh, that's fun to
Is
think
that
about.
Nope, that didn't. We still got Nope, we covered Steelers, Texans. Where are you at? Raiders.
Steelers,
Oh, sorry,
Patriots.
I'm looking at last week. Steelers,
Yeah, yeah.
Patriots. That's what we're missing.
Um, yeah, we'll actually just do that game though. The main thing I think is the how do you catch a football in the NFL anymore?
I don't know what to do, man. Like I feel like they've set out these like they tried to make it more clear this past off season, and it didn't make it more
The thing
clear.
is, okay, so on that, the one thing I need
Is
to
there
ask,
too many stipulations? Is
I think
that
there's
the
too many. Because okay, so what I think they need to look at on that play is okay, he caught it, he made the full complete catch. That he needs to be judged as a runner now. As a
okay.
running back,
When you
if
make a football move?
you make a football move, okay, he's completed a catch, he's got the catch. You know he's got the
Yeah, yeah.
catch. He's turning and making a football move now at the goal line. If that's a running back, it's a touchdown. The play's dead as soon as he sticks the ball across the goal line.
Right.
He doesn't need to hold on to it as he falls to the ground. You dive for the end zone and you reach out and it's over and the ball gets knocked out. It's a touchdown. We need to judge the completed catch after the completed catch going towards the goal line. It's always
Yeah.
been it's always is a you're a runner. They just decided that because it still happened all in the same area, he's still completing a catch. He completed the catch. It was not like he's if the ball's still bobbling and then he does it. Okay, that's one thing. But he caught it,
Right.
turned and reached. That's catch, touchdown, across the goal line. It's over.
You know what I think they need to do is take a look and really look at the rules in college football. I know obviously it's going to be different because of the 1 foot thing, but you don't see this problem in college football really. I mean, take a look at the language in their rule book, and maybe just some language change would help. Maybe I don't know. I don't. They got to fix something.
Yeah. So that's a huge differentiator because now that rematch will, if it
Yep.
happens, will end up in New England, not Pittsburgh again.
Mm-hmm.
That's big. That is big. No. Talking about other late game heroics, Jimmy G magic again.
Jimmy G.
25-23 win versus the Titans. Jimmy G's on fire as a starter. I don't understand how he's not been locked up long term yet. He's got to be locked up now, no doubt.
Oh yeah. Did you? And I'll tell you what, man. They which by the way, I talked about Marquise Goodwin last week, and I think if I'm remembering it, he broke it this week. He broke
did.
his. Yep. He broke it this
Career
week.
total, basically.
Yep. He's had more receiving yards this season than he did his entire career combined. Which is so funny to me. I love Marquise Goodwin. I've actually had a few interactions with him on social media, and he was always very nice to me. He's a good dude. But yeah, I think they've definitely got to go get some more pieces. That needs to be their thing.
He threw for 381 yards and nothing against Marquise Goodwin, who caught 114 for 10 catches.
Let me ask you this: other than Carlos Hyde,
I was gonna say
Marquise Goodwin, if you don't, do you have it pulled up?
Yes, I do.
Dang it! I was gonna say, please name me one other receiver. I think
Garrett Selleck, George Kittle.
I would have thought of George Kittle.
Yeah,
I would have remembered Kittle, and I probably would have remembered the fullback. I can't say his last name.
Yeah, Child Judd
Just
He's a Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah, and he came from It,
Ravens.
yeah, that's what it is. They always have good
Yeah.
fullbacks. They had Vontae Leach for so long that was just a monster. Dude had no neck. He was just. But yeah. So they need some help. Get Jimmy G is putting up numbers like this with no one other than Marquise Goodwin and Carlos Hyde. Get this man a good tight end, a big body receiver. They could do some damage in San
Yeah.
Fran.
And that running game
Congratulations,
did
San
not do
Fran.
anything.
You have a vision. You see where you're
There
going.
is a true
That
vision
is
there.
half the battle in the NFL is to figure out what you're doing because there's multiple teams that just have no idea what they're doing.
The one thing obviously is a big issue going. The thing is with where they're at, it's not a big deal if you think about a 4-10 team. They don't punch it in the end zone very well, but that's all because of what you said. They need all of those pieces.
And by the
My
way,
big goal was 6 or 6 kick and field goals.
real
That
quick, NFL owners, if you're looking for GM, me, Dom, and Thomas, we will do the job of a GM for the same amount of money that you would pay one person. We will split amongst
yep,
us.
we
That
will
is,
split all
you know
time.
what? We'll take a little bit less than that and split it amongst us. We'll do
That's
it. It's
true.
fine. We will do it because we love you, and we can do the job better than some of these other GMs.
Yes. So
So,
open resume out there still.
yeah.
So I completely agree. All right. So with that, last 2 games real quick. Derek Carr ate too many Butterfingers before the game. Dallas wins 20-17. Yeah.
Just go on.
Or the index card. I didn't know which one to go off of. The
Oh.
index card is now, that's what I'm going to leave that game with. The index card is now banned from being used by the NFL. The NFL has banned using index cards to make decisions.
Index cards. Woo.
So, and why did he fold it in half though? That's what I don't get. He folded it in half and did it, or it was already folded in half, I should say, because he
Hey,
has it in
man.
his pocket. He has it in his pocket, so it's not like he folded it in half. It was already, but unfold it, and I don't even get it. What was the point? If it touched both sides, it's if it moves, it's a first down, right? But if it could fit in between it, it's not.
I don't know.
Regardless, though, yeah. All right, I'll leave it alone. Last one, Monday Night Football. The big game from Freeman. The Falcons win 24-21 versus the Buccos.
That was closer than they wanted.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to say. The big thing is it was closer than the Falcons wanted.
Yeah. I like that they have a quicker turnaround than us. They have to play one game quicker than we did. But, I mean,
Something.
all I can think about is this is such a big matchup this week. Oh my gosh, this is huge. Huge game. And Lattimore is not going to be sucking down air on the sideline. He's going to be in your grill all freaking game long, Julio. Don Julio, you're going down.
Uh-oh.
I'm calling you out.
Bold thing saying right
I
now.
know someone you're related to. That's true. I actually do. Jalen's related to Julio.
Really?
He is. Yeah.
Did not know that.
There you go.
All right. Well,
Friend of the show. Friend of the show, Jalen Jury.
Yeah. So with that, we'll get right into picks. So starting off Saturday with 2 Saturday games. Colts at Ravens. Colts at Ravens. That's a Ravens game. Ravens there. This one is now not as entertaining as we might have hoped. Vikings at Packers, but now Brett Hundley is back at starter.
Sweep.
Vikings. Here's a Lions at Bengals. Sweep. Let's go Lions. Bucks at Panthers. Panthers. Here we go. Browns at Bears. Browns. They have to win one. They have to win one. They're not doing it next week. The Steelers have to win now.
I'm trying to think. Are there any? Let's see.
They have to. The week after is the Steelers, and the Steelers if the Steelers and Jags both win, the Steelers have to win so they don't lose the bye week to the Jags.
Oh my gosh. I looked up. I just clicked on the Browns and it shows their Kaiser season.
Oh man.
9 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. I
That's a way to start a
I
career.
can't do it. Chicago.
So you're
Can't do it.
basically saying they're 0-16 then.
Yeah, I gave them their chance. I said
You
all
did.
season. Well, not all season. As soon as Rodgers got hurt, I was like, "This is it. Cleveland
Yeah.
versus Packers.
I think I've
Hundley."
given them what 4 chances now.
Yeah, you gave them a few chances, and they've disappointed you
Yeah.
every time.
Yep. All right. Next one. Next two are sweeps. Dolphins at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Bills at Patriots.
Chiefs. Those are
Patriots.
Patriots.
All right. Here we go. Falcons at Saints.
Who dat?
I think they have to split Saints.
Yeah. I say every year, whenever I look at the Falcons Saints, it doesn't matter how bad we are, or how bad they are, or how good we are, or how good they are. It's always a split to me. Anytime, every time I see the Saints schedule, like first time I see the schedule and I go through and I say, okay, this is a win, this is a loss. Every time I split it. Never say we'll win both or we'll lose both.
Yeah.
Always split.
That's usually how I kind of look at the Lions schedule with the Vikings, not with the Packers.
I was gonna say Packers.
Not with the Packers. With the Vikings, usually it's a split.
Yeah.
And it was. So the Vikings are always, they'll split that. Yeah. Next up, there's just not a lot this week. I'll tell you that. Chargers at Jets.
Chargers.
Rams at Titans.
Rams.
Yep. This will be interesting, I guess. Broncos at Redskins.
At Redskins?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Redskins.
All right. This was one of the games I didn't pick pre-hand, so I'll pick Broncos.
There you go.
As much as I've loved the Jimmy G Magic, the Jags at 49ers. Jags. Sorry, Jimmy G. This is another monster of a defense that I don't think Marquise Goodwin's going to get 100 yards receiving.
Not on Jalen. Not on Jalen Ramsey. No.
So, yeah. Here's this one's interesting. Giants at Cardinals. I'm actually going to go Giants.
Stanton.
No, it is Gabbert still.
It's Gabbert still? Okay.
They're letting Gabbert finish out the year.
Okay.
And Adrian Peterson's on the IR. There's still Larry Fitzgerald, though. And the defense, but I'll give it to Giants. I'll give the Giants a win.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go Giants.
Yeah.
I'll go Giants with you there.
I mean, they played well against the Eagles. Now, granted, I know that's a different thing because it's in division rival, but yeah, I feel like they can win one more. 3-13 year. So, next up, the last game on Sunday. Well, I guess not last because there's other 3:00 games, but it's the prime one. Seahawks at Cowboys. 3:25. There's no Sunday night.
I'll go Hawks.
No Hawks. Okay, I'll take the boys then.
All right. I had a guy at work the other day trying to convince me that they should start Morris instead. I was like, "You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind."
Want to win?
Yeah, I was like, I can see you making that argument if they're mathematically eliminated already, but they're not.
Yeah.
You start your players you start the best player.
Yeah. All right. And this next game will be the Sunday Night Crew, but at 3:30, I believe, on Christmas Day. Steelers at Texans.
Steelers.
That game would have been very interesting if Watson was healthy. But not looking good for the Texans, especially a mad Steelers team. So
yeah. And
then finally, the last Monday Night Football game of the year, because there's no Monday Night Football on Week 17.
Right.
Raiders at Eagles.
This one's kind of hard for me.
Really? I've got the Eagles. I think they can still win. I don't believe that Raiders offense can't do enough versus the defense. And I don't think the Eagles defense lets up 29 again.
No.
The Raiders offense does not scare me at all.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'll go Eagles.
Yeah, it's more the fact that the Raiders' offense is 50 times worse than they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
it's not a scary offense, and their
No.
defense. Oh man, talk about not getting turnovers. What they have like 3 interceptions on the. Well, Dak
Yeah.
gave them
Well,
a couple going into the
they
game. They
got there
only had two.
first. Well, they got there first, like all the way in
Oh
like week 13, I
yeah,
think it
something like that.
was.
Because I believe they showed a stat, and they only had like if I'm correct, I believe they only had two going into the Cowboys game,
Yeah.
and I believe that's right. I'm just looking at and because they picked off Dak twice, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, so they might have 4 interceptions as a defense on the year. Nick Foles
It's
doesn't
not
make
good.
stupid passes, at least.
No, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, I that's why I can't trust the Raiders.
No. I'll agree with you on that one. So.
So, well, with that, unfortunately, we do not have Thomas to do the tweet of the week.
It's hard for us right now, guys.
Yeah.
We're all in difficult spots right now.
So
Timing is
unless,
becoming difficult.
so yeah, unless you got a tweet you know of off the top of your head.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not. None are coming to mind.
I'll see if I'll pull something up real quick
Okay.
because I had that I know that Twitter. I don't follow them. There's the old player tweets. I don't follow it, but every once in a while it shows up. So I'll give something. Let's see. I'll try not to go too far back. Here we go. Let's see. I don't want to. I want to find a decent one at least for you to guess. There's a lot of basketball ones. We might go basketball.
Go basketball one. Sometimes I feel like I have a better chance of actually
Yeah.
guessing a basketball one right. You've been on fire lately, by the way. You got one.
Oh,
You
thank
got it
you.
right 2 weeks in a row.
You know, I'm actually Yep. All right. Basketball one. I got it.
Okay.
From January
Current
1st.
current player.
Current player. Current player.
Okay.
January 1st, 2014. I will give you a hint that this player was not in the NBA when they tweeted this, though.
Okay. Okay.
So 2014. They were not in the NBA in 2014. They're a current player, though. Start quote. Man, it's colder than 2 light-skinned girls' hearts out here, LOL. End quote.
Wow.
I will repeat. Man, it's colder than 2 light-skinned girls' hearts out here, LOL.
Okay. He wasn't in the NBA in 2014.
No, he was not.
So 3 seasons. I'm trying to think of players that were
I will give you one random question at all that I will answer.
okay.
To help me help out.
Did he go to a college up north? Like northeast?
Northeast. No.
It's just north? Just up north?
Well, north is a hard decision on this.
Relative?
It does snow. It does snow where this place is. More, but it's not north.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm gonna throw one out there. And I'm gonna say Buddy Hield.
Ooh. Well, I think you had the right idea. Kyle Kuzma.
Ah! Okay. I would have never guessed Kyle Kuzma.
Really? Yeah. Kyle
No, because
Kuzma.
I don't know his. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know his personality. Like I was trying to think of guys like personality
That
that
you knew their
it's like okay, I feel like
personality.
Buddy Hield might say that. Knowing some things about Buddy Hield, so that might be something he would say.
Fair
But
enough.
okay, Kyle Kuzma, that dude has been a huge surprise. He has been very
That's
good.
why I picked it. When I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, Kuzma's been has been very obviously
Yeah, he has.
hot
I
name
think
out of the
he's
late first round." So
averaging something a little over 15 points right now. I think something around there. So for a rookie that was drafted, what second round
he was
somewhere?
still first round, and the
Was
first,
he still? Was it in the first? Okay,
and the
but
first
still,
because it was one of the picks the Nets had from a trade, and they traded him in
right?
the D'Angelo Russell trade.
Gotcha. Hey, D'Angelo Russell though, he hadn't been bad. He has not been bad for them at all. He needed a change
Yeah,
of
change of scenery.
place. But he ended up doing like pretty decent at the end of the year when when because LA switched him to a two,
Mm-hmm.
which I think he did better in that system as a two. But he's back at the one, and I like him at the one in New York in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. So
So yeah, with that, this has been We Talk Sports Good. Week 15 recap and week 16 preview. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitter, like the Facebook, send in questions before the week, during the chat. Thank you, Rob. You very interactive. Always love that. Always nice having lots of questions to help change the conversation up a little bit. So,
yep.
yeah, with that, tune in next week. We should be going back to, well, I don't want to say we're guaranteed back
We're
to
trying,
Wednesday.
guys. We're trying. We all have really crazy work schedules
Yeah,
right
I was gonna
now.
say I'm not sure about Wednesday, but we'll get back.
We're getting old Dom used to the early shift with me
Oh
waking
man,
up
I'm
around what
tired.
4:30
I
4.
wake up at 4:30.
Yep, that's where I will text you next time I wake up.
Yeah, really.
I'll say, hey man,
Uh,
morning.
yeah, yeah. So maybe not Wednesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, one of those days. We'll do it. We'll get it in.
Yeah,
We'll have a show. We'll have another NFL show. Obviously, that'll be a very big one. Last week of regular season. So
yeah, and we're trying to do the NCAA things. I know we said we would do 5 minute hitters, but we
yeah,
will at the very least we will have previews for the championship games.
yeah.
But
We'll definitely the big name, the big bowls.
Final four. I was trying to,
Those, yeah.
yeah,
The New Year's Six bowls in general will have,
yeah, 100%.
but the small ones kind of are hard to do because they
Yeah,
are on such weird days,
yep.
and sometimes as much as I love college football and as much as I do like watching random games, I just don't know
We don't
enough
have,
sometimes.
yeah, and then we don't have enough time, guys.
Yeah,
It sucks.
sorry.
So,
So
but
yeah,
anyways,
with that, do all the things I said, subscribe and all that. So have a merry Christmas, everybody. Enjoy the holiday season.